Whatever it is that you think that happened for you in life didn't necessarily happen. Many times, it's something that's subjective. It's something that you made up in your mind. Now, the thing is that to many different people, many different things happen, and many times that will go through the same experience, you will think one thing happened and the other person will interpret it in a total different way, and you'll see that for them a total different experience occurred and they think something totally else happened. So you might think that you went through something in life and something happened for you or to you, if you want to blame, and what you think happened didn't necessarily happen. And I'll give you now a few examples and we'll see why when we think that way, we could make our life miserable, but then if we change the way we think in a certain way, it will make your life much better. There's a famous story, I'm sure you heard of it. Two people were driving, two cars, and they got to the railway. Now when they got there, they came, I guess they didn't see that the gates went down. They came close, and the train came and cut both of the cars in two. Now thank God they're alive, they're here. The first thing, like, they came out of the car, they were shocked, like, what just happened? Like, we're alive, but wait, we don't have any car. The train passed, and the train also continued, and amazing, nothing happened to the people on the train, nothing happened to us, so, wow, okay. Let's take a breath, we're alive. And now, from here, everything changes. First person comes and says, like, oh my God, this was a new car, and, I put so much money into it, I took a loan, my life is ruined now, the car is cut into two because I didn't get it on insurance, and it's not validated yet, and they're all depressed, because they don't have a car anymore because the train just crashed into the car and they don't have that car. Another person, maybe even the exact same new car, also no insurance, the exact same outside condition. Another person is like, wow, a train just hit me and I'm alive. Amazing, no car, no insurance, all good, we'll find a solution for that. But I'm alive and I have the opportunity now to recreate my life. I could have been dead in a second. In most cases, when a train crashes into your car, first you probably die, but also all the people on the train get hurt. And the other person is like, wow, amazing. I got opportunity for another day in life, and I got opportunity to continue and create my life. So realize, two people went through the same story, same exact thing, same exact outside conditions. One person is like, oh my God, my life is ruined. The other person is telling himself a different story and he has a much better life. So what you can see, it's all about the story in our head. And it's not only that, it could be in many different things. So it could be when I had, and I'm still going through recovery in my injury. So at the beginning, I could have thought, poor me, I can't do my running anymore, I can't go hiking, and these are things I love to do. Dancing, I love dancing, really hard for me to dance, and I started like going a lot over in my head over things that are now challenging for me to do. And in my job I can't work that well, so I'm getting paid less, and a lot of different things that started coming up to my mind. And then I'll tell you what I did in a few minutes, but I realized that I could tell myself a new story, and with that new story I get a different perspective. When you change your perspective in life changes for you, and then now I'll say for the better, but not sure. It depends to what you change your perspective. Now, how to change your perspective, we'll talk about that in a second, but first I want you to understand this point, Doesn't matter whatever it is you go through in life, the way you interpret it, the story you tell yourself, that's the effect that will have the effect on the next step and how you will feel and what you're going to do. And your story will be different than my story, even though we went through the same thing. So it could be the same thing, in your relationship or in your business, that you went through something. And again, if it was something painful, I'm all here with you and setting the strength. With that said, after you felt that pain, now ask yourself, maybe there are many things I could do in order to learn the lessons, and maybe some of them I'll decide to do alone, and maybe some I'll go to a therapist that would help you, dive into that subconscious. Because if you create the same thing again and again, and nothing's changing, it's because you're doing the same thing from the same pattern in your subconscious. So ask yourself, okay, I understand. The way I look at life, there's a saying, I think it's Wayne Dyer, when you change the way you look at something, what you look at changes. Now, it's really nice to say that phrase, it's cute, and I do also believe in it, but how do we actually change our perspective in life? So, number one starts from the pain part. When you have this perspective right now, whatever it is that you have in life, whether it's on the thought or fact that you're not fit, whether it's on your relationship, on your business, on your sleep, on your health, whatever it is, whatever perspective you created in your mind, okay? Whatever story you're telling yourself, is it serving you or not? Is it helping you create a better and happier life, that you feel better by serving other people and by serving yourself? If yes, amazing, continue with that. And with time, also look, sometimes reflect and see how you could even improve your life better and serve in a better way. Amazing. If it's not serving you and you're just feeling victim and you have more pain and you feel down and you're just blaming other people, I don't think that makes you feel better. And if you want to feel better and bring more of your beauty out to the world, and for sure also for yourself, because if you don't invest in yourself, you can't really serve in the best way other people. So change your story, change your perspective. Now, there's a way to do that. The way is simple. In addition to the word simple, it's simple plus repetition, again and again and again. If you don't do the repetition in practice, it won't be simple because it won't work. Again, it's not a one-time act. So what you do is you take your story, okay, and now you change your perspective. How do you change your perspective? In two ways. Well, there are many more, but I'll talk right now about two. When you do these two, that will be a good beginning for more action steps you could take in order to change your perspective. And it's a daily maintenance. It's like every day, your car needs maintenance, your house needs maintenance, your relationship needs it, everything. Also this, you need to maintain it and continue doing it until this type of muscle of changing the perspective gets stronger and stronger, and then it would happen already automatically. But you need to start doing the work, okay? If you never have done exercise, you never lift weights, you can't start from 100 pounds. You'll just damage, you probably won't be able to do it, but also, if you'll be able to do a little bit, you'll just create damage. Same thing over here. So, number one, okay, in order to observe and reframe, well, I'll say in order to change your perspective, you need to observe and reframe. What does that mean? So, think of whatever it is that you want to change your perspective, you want to change your story. Now, zoom out. Okay, now that you're zoomed out, look at it from above, and whatever it is that you want to change. Okay, observe like you're looking from the outside. Look at the story just in a simple way. What happened over there, as you're just an observer right now. Now ask yourself, what can I learn from what happened over here? Because the fact that something happened, okay, in any situation in life, there's a message for growth. Now the message that you will understand, that I will understand, depends on the level that I am. So if I'm in first grade level, I'll understand a message of first grade. Kindergarten. If I'm, on a master's level, I'll understand that. And by the way, also masters, we're always students. And I'm saying we because each person is a master in something. But also in that, you need to continue being a student. Back to this, okay? So now that you observed and you see the lessons, usually they're not only, it's not only one lesson, it's a few lessons for growth. Now you say, okay, so first I learned from this a few things. Okay, so I learned in my relationship that I could improve here, I could improve there, I could do this for the relationship. Take responsibility only on my part. Okay, so we'll talk about that in another video about how responsibility could, from one hand, ruin your life, but then if you take responsibility on your part, actually could create a much better life for you. And I will leave a link in the video below. But in addition to that, you'll see that at the end. In addition to that, okay, now you're saying, I learned these lessons. Now, how can I reframe my thoughts, okay? Reframe my perspective to one that serves me. So now that I learned the lessons, I'll say, okay, wow, now I could do things in life that would serve me and help me create a better life. One. Two is sometimes think about how things could have been much worse. Okay, so after you thought about how things could become much better from the lesson you learned, how things can become much worse. I'll give you an example, okay? So I got injured in combat. I got a back injury. So at the beginning, as I said, I thought, okay, wow, I can't do so many things that I like to do. And I was planning to do so many things, and my plans basically are not working out, and I can't fall asleep from pain and all of those things. But then I changed my perspective, and I said thank you for the injury. Why thank you? Like a second ago I was complaining. Pretty simple. When I understood that things could have been much worse, and I could have came out of the combat field with, first I could have came back dead, and it was really close to that. And I could have came out with with no arms or legs, because they're explosives, or losing my eyesight. So I said, amazing, the fact that my injury was only the back, no, I'm good. I'll work on it, and I'll feel better, and I'll need to adjust myself to whatever it is I need to adjust. And I moved my mind, to gratitude. So I changed my perspective of, wow, I can't do this, I can't do that, to, wow, thank you. Could have been much worse. And it's not only in combat, it's in anything, okay? It's in a relationship. Instead of saying, a relationship ended or things are not working, saying to yourself, wow, things could have been much worse if, whatever it is, the story you told yourself. And then I take the good part, okay? I learned that, this in the relationship, these differences are creating friction and challenges. So how can we come to a third solution to something that can actually serve us? Because, you're with this person, that means you admire them at some point. Okay, they're with you, they admired you at some point. Now how can you merge that to something that is bigger than you or her alone, to something together that grows together? So the same thing in a relationship, the same thing here. What can you learn from these differences? What can you learn from this friction? Okay, take the lessons for growth, and think and change your perspective to how lucky you are that you have this situation. Because I say in most of the cases, your nightmare is someone else's dream. So only thing you need to do is change your perspective. Now, changing your perspective is a great thing to do, and it can help you create a much better life. In addition to that, if you feel that it's something that is coming back again and again and again, maybe there's something in your subconscious that, some type of interpretation that you want to change, because otherwise things could just continue going with resistance and resistance. So yes, you'll change your perspective again and again and again, but if you don't change that inner program, eventually you'll get tired. So I really recommend you follow that, the link to the video below. And yes, if you feel that you're going in that pattern again and again, maybe get some outside help, a therapist or a friend or whatever that can help you tap into that subconscious and change the program. When you change the program, so you'll see things will go more in flow. And then next time you change your perspective, you'll see how you could create a better life for you, because you're happier with whatever you have. Yes, you work on the challenge, and yes, you work on the friction, and you create from it something stronger, okay? When you exercise, you get some friction in your muscles, but then you come and you eat, and you basically take care of yourself, and you get stronger. The same thing over here. So when you work on that friction, when you change that perspective, you'll see how you create a better life for yourself, and then automatically also for the people surrounding you. You can continue serving a purpose that is greater than yourself. Hi, I hope you enjoyed the video and you got some tools to overcome your challenges and light your path. For us to help other people, please press that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget that the most amazing things in life are the one you take for granted.